Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics, and in this video I like to discuss how not just Twitter but Musk's signature business operations at Tesla are suffering. Primarily, you would say, due to his journey down the far-right political rabbit hole. But perhaps all we're seeing here that he was just never very good at running a business in the first place. And for once, this ineptitude may actually do some good in the end. But first, if you'd like to be kept informed on political commentary, please hit the subscribe button. So I must begin with the best takedown of Musk I've seen for a while. So Space Karen was using his Twitter platform to talk rubbish again. I know, just for a change. He asked, why are so many people raging for the machine? And then I'm going to clean this up so I can remain monetized. Someone responded, you're a Nepo billionaire with a social media empire and government military contracts. You are the machine, you stupid. Insert your own uncomplimentary noun here. It's remarkable, isn't it? We get this in the UK as well, that posh, wealthy spivs try to con ordinary people by saying they're on their side. Oh, we're one of you, we're attacking the establishment together. It's like, mate, you are the establishment. We got it from the Tories in recent years. We get it from Nigel Farage. They're constantly having to change what the establishment is. It's like, no, you are the establishment. You're incredibly wealthy, had an incredibly privileged upbringing, an introduction to adulthood as well. You've got all the contracts you'll ever need to never go broke. You know, they'll always be able to wave their school tie about and get a job somewhere if they need it. But anyway, I digress. Twitter is in trouble. Yes, I'm still calling it Twitter. It didn't exactly have a robust business model when it was at least being run as a reasonable social media platform. It is quite tricky. But since Musk took over, he's actively driven advertisers away. He publicly told them not to advertise on his platform if they didn't like what he was doing. And when they said, well, we don't like what you do, so we'll stop advertising, he's decided to sue them for doing exactly what he advised them to do. Reports now suggest that Space Karen has completely tanked the advertising revenues for the platform. A real terms drop of 84%, in fact, it's been reported. Turns out all those who paid for the blue ticks didn't quite make up for the loss of advertising. It's quite funny because the far right often use the phrase, go woke, go broke. Yet the opposite is generally true. In the UK, for example, Nigel Farage regularly whines about advertisers steering clear of GB News. And why is this? Sure, yes, there are some corporations who have a strong ethical code, but not very many. Most run their business decisions according to profits. If large businesses appear to be making decisions to avoid association with certain positions or organisations on political grounds, it's because they're sure that that is what their customers would expect them to do. It's appealing to more customers than it repels. Simple as that. And if they're consistently supporting progressive positions and avoiding regressive ones, it ain't woke that's making people go broke, is it? But anyway, back to Musk and his Twitter problem. So apparently he's very likely to need cash in order to prop the platform up. And the suggestions are that he'd have to liquidate some of his Tesla stock in order to do that, hitting the value of shares and, of course, therefore negatively impacting other shareholders whose share value will also go down. And according to the report in Fortune, he'll sort of have to keep tapping Tesla because his other business interests can't really be liquidated quite so easily. So Musk is basically damaging his signature business brand for the sake of propping up what was always a bad idea for which he had no serious plan. I've often speculated that maybe Musk bought Twitter in order to turn it into a more successful version of Truth Social, and if he failed to do that, then happily just watch it collapse. In which case, well, why not just let it collapse rather than carry out a deliberate hit on the value of Tesla, particularly when there's clearly no long-term business plan here. Well, it could be that the time's not right. Maybe he needs Twitter to keep going for a little while to remain operational for the upcoming presidential election. But also, like, you know, you think to yourself, he could still want it for the long term, either to push his latest political interests or actually to enhance his own influence. Because you think, you know, maybe it's just the financial penalties for Twitter collapsing that are too high. Remember, Musk didn't just buy Twitter with his pocket money. There was a complex arrangement which included taking loans on. He's got to service that debt. And you can see the value in someone operating a social media platform like Twitter in the interests of someone like Trump. You know, if Trump wins, Musk may be able to elicit a lot of valuable favours in return. And Trump's not the sort of person that's going to give you those valuable favors in return for services rendered. You'd have to show that you're going to continue to be useful to him. So Musk needs Twitter to continue to be useful for Trump, even during his presidency. So Musk may be working on the basis of using a grateful second-term President Trump to raid the US Treasury to help deal with his financial headaches. Maybe this is why Musk actually sometimes comes across as even more desperate than even Trump that the orange one wins the election. But if he really does want to keep the platform going for whatever reason, but clearly has no plan for building up revenues, and given that he seems to be on Twitter constantly pushing ridiculous messages, I don't think he's really spending a lot of time working on his business planning. Then you think, so how does he make this a long-term project? If it's losing between $1 and $2 billion a year, what? Like, surely there comes a point where he can't just keep tapping Tesla shares or anything else in order to feed this ravenous beast that is a huge social media platform but can't fend for itself financially. Then there's the possibility of tighter regulations on social media's responsibilities regarding disinformation. Now, other social media platforms are likely to engage because at the end of the day, they want their business to remain viable. I mean, I keep going back to YouTube during the adpocalypse some years ago. It's quite a few years ago now, when they had to respond to a loss of advertising revenues. And they did respond. And lots of other social media companies, you put them under that pressure, they'll respond again. But Twitter's a different beast. Musk picks fights. He's already picked a fight with Brazil. This could easily expand to Europe. Twitter's capacity to generate revenue with Space Karen at the helm seems doubtful. It's worth remembering that although Musk is incredibly wealthy, he's never actually run a business successfully, has he? He was just very good at taking over businesses which had already been built up. He spied a good investment. So we can't even just assume that Musk is generally a knowledgeable business owner who maybe has just gone crazy due to more recent political beliefs. Like an alcoholic throwing the business that they've built up down the toilet, because he's never built up a business. We've never had any evidence that he knows how to run a business, because what we may be seeing here is someone who's actually just shit at business. But there we are. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button and subscribe as well. And if you'd like to support the channel further, you can join for memberships. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.